Arsenal get Arsenaled. Brentford give Arteta a taste of his own medicine with a set piece hell. Welcome back to 2 half 2 innings football. Friday night, we're thinking, shall we, shan't we? Oh, come on, let's chill out for the weekend. But the opportunity to talk to Rohit about Arsenal drawing at Brentford could not be missed. Rohit, I think you said 3-0, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we should have scored 3 goals at least. We should have scored 3 goals, man. But then again, Brentford could have scored 3 goals as well. It could have been a 3-all draw. So that's what the games are about, right?
Well then, so God, let's break it down. I mean, this is the fourth time that Arsenal have made. Sorry, this is the fourth time this calendar year that Arsenal have played after Man City, and they haven't been able to capitalise on Man City's result. Now, maybe we're reading too much into it, or maybe I'm reading too much into it. Sorry, but remember this calendar year is only 5-6 weeks in, so that's quite a lot of times that's happened. So what's that potentially telling me is that are Arsenal feeling the pressure that they're rather play first and then kind of put the pressure onto Man City. What do you think?
What's the record of when City played second? How many
No, I don't
times
know.
they failed to win or draw? I mean, they
That's
failed
a
to win.
that's a very good question, but I'm focused on Arsenal here, and
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So
weaknesses.
yeah, I'm focusing on the game. I'm not focusing on Arsenal here. I'm just saying the narrative, right? So okay, Arsenal didn't win after City, but then how many times City didn't win after Arsenal? So that's the thing, guys. This is a long season. Everything happens. When we discuss this team, apart from Jesus, haven't won the league. Obviously, they may have won the league in their own countries, but they haven't won the league. As Arsenal, as a club, haven't won the league for 20 odd years. So obviously, they're gonna be some squeaky bum times. That's how Sir Alex used to say, right? So we need to just say it's a long season. There will be many ups and downs, and it's interesting. And it's obviously for us Arsenal fans, it's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? But guys, I'm very calm. I'm not panicking at the moment. We are still 4 points ahead. I'm just saying, okay, guys, keep doing. We didn't lose. That's the main thing. At least we still got a point. It's a tough fixture. It's we again how Brentford played. I mean, they showed us last night why they are sixth, just behind Liverpool, and
Seventh.
the seventh. Yes, I think Liverpool are sixth, right? Yeah, so they're seventh. They are going for Europa. I think Europe as well position. So I think they play better. So we just have to take in. We didn't lose. Just move on.
Okay, before we go on to the game, Ajay, if you're a Man City fan or you're part of the Man City setup now, what are you thinking? Because I know what I'd be thinking.
Well, that's it. From Pep, and when we saw from obviously Man City's reaction to the Liverpool game, you can probably see that their tails are up now. They're probably thinking that we're back in this, and they know how to apply pressure better than any other team when it comes to chasing for a Premier League title. I mean, Arsenal have finished second. Is it 3 times now?
Three seasons, yeah.
3 seasons. Yeah. So for Arsenal, this is going to be uncharted waters when it comes to still being at the top of the table come February or March. And then City, if they're still within 3 points, 4 points, then that's when that's going to be squeaky bum time, for Arsenal. And I think if you look at the fixture list, Tottenham, that's going to be a big game next for Arsenal. And obviously Tottenham have got a new manager in is it Igor Tudor?
Igor Tudor,
yeah, it's come in, and so there could be a new manager bounce. It could be obviously, it could be dangerous for Arsenal again going to. That's an away game, isn't it? To Tottenham?
Yes, that's an away game.
Yeah. So and if that ends up being a Tottenham win, City win their next game, that's 1 point, and that's when it
but
blows
we
up
playing Wolves first as well, so they City will have the one game in hand. Yeah.
So Wolves, and I'm sure you'll probably beat Wolves. But the Tottenham game is going to be the big one. I think that's going to be a huge test, and then that's just going to set the precedent because this Brentford team just really showed Arsenal, a lot of tricky and a lot of questions for Arteta to ask. I mean, Martinelli missed a one-on-one chance, but Raya made some really questionable kind of throws. I mean, there was one pass to Rice, which he missed, and it was then I think it was Igor, the striker for Brentford. He had a header against Raya, and he saved that obviously. But
Thiago, yeah.
looking at Brentford's goal, Brentford's goal came from a long throw, and obviously I think Gabriel, was he lucky to stay on the pitch? I mean, that could have been a red card after 2 fouls. So again, it didn't look really comfortable for Arsenal. So are you going to win all the games? I doubt it. But would City win all of their games? Who knows? That's going to be the biggest test, I think.
So, Roy, this is the second time that Arsenal made 4 changes and they failed to win. Now, I appreciate obviously some of these changes have been forced, and some of these are kind of decisional. And it's I'm not criticizing Arteta, by the way, because it is very difficult. It's that fine balance that you want to keep your team fresh, but you also want to kind of play your strongest team so that you are taking advantage of the situation. So again, are we reading too much into this, or is it just coincidental?
No, I think again those changes probably be forced anyway, like you said, right? With the injuries, like Odegaard just came back. Saka, I don't think he was fully fit anyway when he came on, so obviously he was on the bench to start with. And Merino is already injured. Havertz got injured as well, which we discussed last podcast. I mean, unfortunately, we were hit by injuries again, but that's not an excuse. We bought good players. They should have done the job last night, but these are things happens, right? So plus the so many games happening as well. They are not having the time to even think, time to rest as well. Hopefully they will rest this weekend and we go fresh again from Wednesday onwards. Yeah, I don't think, Amit, we should take too much into that, the changes. And as City make a lot of changes as well, and the way the only change I should have made was to bring Norgard in, because he knows how Brentford plays. He was their captain last year, and to not even give him some minutes last night, I was quite surprised. He should have come on. He's an experienced international. He was the captain. He played well last year. We should give him some minutes. He's the only one who hasn't got many minutes.
The only thing I'll say about City, though, I don't think you can compare them with anyone else, because they lose 1 or 2 games and they go and spend, £100 million in the transfer market.
That's true.
So I think they're a bit of an anomaly compared to everyone else at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think to be fair to Arsenal, I don't think you can compare yourself to them.
Yeah.
But I mean, the one change that you were calling out for, obviously Odegaard, you felt that he's not been his creative self this season compared to last season for whatever reason, and you really wanted to see Eze start, but he did start the game and he didn't. He didn't do much.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Arsenal had, and it's not his fault. I think Arsenal had this. I think this is the first time since 2021 Arsenal only had 1 shot on target in the first half of a Premier League game. But when Odegaard did come on the second half, so again, it might have just been a pep talk from Arteta as well. Come on, lads, we've got to kind of, we don't want to lose this, or we want to win this game, So you can't all put it down to Odegaard, but he was influential in terms of he passed the ball.
He was, but if you see, we should have scored in that moment. We did score, but we should have scored 2 or 3 another goal as well, right, to give us a little bit of breathing space. But after that, again, it was old Odegaard. Maybe because the injury he had, he couldn't influence again, be more influential, but he went back to the same Odegaard this year, coming out of tackles, not giving much standing up for everything. He was just anonymous after that. He was just playing as easy. I think again, it's about how Brentford played as well. They played a really physical game. They knew that whoever comes in, but first half they were brilliant. Second half, after we scored, they were brilliant. So only in that first 15 minutes in the second half that we were dominant, and that was the moment to seize that initiative, to say, yeah, let's score 2 or 3 goals, and we had great chances then. So these are the moments I think we missed that, right, to score those chances. Even the last second as well, when Martinelli, I was like, I don't have any hair, guys. If I had any hair, I would have been pulling my hair down, saying, "Come on, Martinelli, what have you done?"
So, Ajay, I don't know if you saw the game, but I mean, did we see anything from Brentford in that game against Arsenal that we didn't, that surprised us? Because Roy talked about their aggression and their tactical setup. I mean, for me, I think that what I saw of the game, I mean, I didn't watch all of it, I watched bits of it, but it's what I saw was what I was expecting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't catch the full game. I was at the cinemas watching Border 2. Fantastic film, by the way. Yeah, so but from what I could see from Brentford, I mean, they did it against United. You know, they play quick, they play aggressive, they play through the lines. And I think, you know, not reading too much into Brentford's performance, but focusing on Arsenal. My question to you, Rohit, is simply, does Arteta get worried or is not implementing a kind of risk kind of free football in his team? Is he kind of a bit scared to lose
No,
the ball?
I
Because
don't
I
get
feel
that
like this.
narrative. I don't know what that is coming from,
No,
Ajay.
but
You know,
if from you watching the games,
yeah,
Nunha, like your forwards aren't really
we
banging in the goals. You're not winning the 3-4
look,
nils. I mean, obviously Sunderland you won 3-0. Obviously, I think Forest as well 3. But
we
this
won
type of
we
game
won
against
at
Brentford,
Leeds where the teams were struggling. We won there as
Yeah,
well, 3-0,
and you
right?
have
Leeds
to
won
remember.
4-0.
Yeah,
But is
4-0,
it
yeah.
risk? Is it risk football? Is it risky football where if you are struggling against teams with a low block? Now I think it was Sky Sports that I think put it out as well, and where they asked about Trent Alexander-Arnold and they said like, how did Liverpool become so successful under Klopp when he won the Premier League? And he was basically saying like he was allowed to kind of be able to lose the ball. He said like if you play risky passes, if the reward comes off, then you get the goal. But even if you were able to lose, if you lost the ball, then there would be defenders there to kind of track back and kind of clean up any mess. Do you think that Arsenal and Arteta maybe in the sense of not being able to kind of push that narrative on their players, maybe to say that play risky football, don't worry about losing it. You've got the likes of Gabriel, you've got the likes of Saliba to clean up any messes. And is that
Rice,
why maybe and Rice as well to clean up the messes? Is that
yeah.
why we're not seeing Gyökeres being prolific and he's still not got 10 goals? This season, I think he's on what seven goals. He's on this
But
season,
How
and then another striker. Jay's. I mean, with the likes of Jesus, Havertz, and Gyökeres, and even
I was
Saka. I mean, Nottingham Forest have hired more managers than Saka's had goals from open play this season.
Saka's been injured, mate. Saka's been very injured. I don't think Saka is
No.
fully fit this year. Saka's been. This
Yeah,
is
but
the
you
third
can't
time
use
he got
fully fit.
injured.
You can't use. You can't. I
Yeah.
mean, he's
No,
playing games,
Ajay, it does. It does.
so-
When you are not fully fit, it impacts your playing style. It impacts how you move. It's not easy, for professional footballers. He's been injured 3 times this season already.
well,
And missed
also as
games.
well as the
So
fitness as well. The
fitness as
Odegaard, you
well.
see
Come
Odegaard's
back. Yeah.
no, but Odegaard's mental state regarding
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
I think that I've got a quick example. My daughter's injured her leg and she's had surgery and she's on crutches now. She can walk fine without crutches, but she's now not walking without the, she
Conscious.
doesn't
Yeah. Yeah.
she's conscious that she's gonna
Yeah.
fall and hurt
If you
herself
fall,
again,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
she won't walk with the crutches, and we're having this battle with her now.
Yeah.
Now this is just I appreciate she's a young child and go to school, but we're talking about professional football here with like Odegaard, and obviously whatever injuries he's had, the game and the pace the game is played, obviously there's a higher risk of impact injury.
And
So you
guys,
could
World Cup
understand
coming
why
as
you
well.
said
World Cup coming
World
as
Cup
well
as
for
well,
them. Yeah.
one day, so you
Yeah.
said you could see him pulling it. Now I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's right or wrong, and then obviously that's the
But
work of the Arteta and the psychology. But as a man or as a person, woman or whatever, child, as I explained my daughter, you can understand the mindset that they are going to be scared because again, especially with him, this is his livelihood, isn't it, Odegaard? So if God forbid if he was to get an injury that means that he can no longer play football, then already a short career has been cut even shorter. So you can understand that to a certain degree.
and another thing, I think, boys, there are different ways to win the leagues. We saw
Oh, yeah.
so we saw how Mourinho won the leagues, right?
Yes.
We saw how Ancelotti won the leagues. We saw how Sir Alex won the leagues. We saw how Wenger won the
Wenger.
leagues,
Yeah.
right? So there are always different ways to win the leagues. So if we are at top 4 points, he must be doing something right to be at the top. Every manager has their way of playing. Who they need to trust themselves first of all, right? Before they're trusting anyone else, they need to say what they are doing is right, and they can see the outcome at the end of the day. And if players are fully behind that manager, I mean, who are we to question them, right? Obviously, the only thing we are missing is probably a playmaker. But then we had Odegaard, we had Eze. We thought we don't need anyone else. But unfortunately, Odegaard got injured twice. And now it's the third time. Same for Saka. He got injured. And trust me, last night, I think Gyökeres played very, very well. He held the ball very well. He actually made 2-3 key passes. We could have scored then. So he was brilliant last night.
And also, Ajay, to call you about Gyökeres, I know you said he's not scored 10 goals yet, but in our Ruth and I's preview of this game, what we did discuss was that he's actually been he's been the most prolific
Prolific
striker actually
scorer
this
this
year. I
year.
think he's got six. Well, I can't remember the stat now. I think it was six goals in 7 games or something like that. And he's been impactful, and obviously he changed the game. And I know Arsenal were already leading, but he changed the game in getting them 2 goals against Sunderland as well. So I think I think the tide's turned for him in terms of he's playing, he's contributing, and from what you said as well, you were quite impressed with his performance as
Yeah,
well.
last night he was
So
brilliant. Yeah. I think that's
so
why I
talk,
was happy. So I was scared that what Arteta's gonna do is gonna sub him off, put Jesus in, and I was hoping he doesn't do that. And luckily, he saw that as well, that he's playing very well. Because of him, we had that kind of chances. And look at the chance right at the last minute chance he created, right, when he passed to Timber, and who was at the front? Timber. A defender was going for the goal.
just
So
going
this
for the
I'm
win.
saying, yeah, this I'm saying. We are going for the we want to win the games. It just didn't happen
And
last night, and some
and,
of the
so, and
games did
and
happen.
sometimes Martinelli. I agree he should have
Oh,
scored
he
that
should have
goal.
scored that
But
goal.
what
Just
happened there was, Rohit, that he took one touch too
one
many.
extra.
If he
Yeah,
if he if
yeah,
he hit, and again, it's very easy for us to say
yeah. Of course.
hindsight on the
Yeah,
bench. He's got that half a second, not even that probably, to make a decision yet. And you can't coach that, can you? That's instinct. His instinct.
exactly.
If he was a out and out striker like an Alan Shearer or Henry or
Oh, go on
Ruud
one
van
ball, go on.
Nistelrooy
Yeah,
or
one
whoever,
touch goal.
Drogba,
Yeah,
okay, or CR7 or
yeah,
Ronaldo Nazario, they would have just bang first time in the goal. But he took the extra touch because he wanted to compose himself. But that extra touch allowed the goalkeeper to kind of be able to make himself big, and then he and ultimately he saved the
yeah.
goal. So I mean, the goalkeeper got the man of the match award, I think. I mean, I don't remember him making that many great saves to deserve that. I thought the one of the centre defenders for is it Vanderberg, I think.
I think that's why he got. I think he got the man of the match.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
Vanderberg got the
player of
man
the
of the match.
match. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, yeah. I thought he was very good,
yeah.
marshalling the defence. So, what next for Arsenal then, Rohit? What would you change for the next game? I know it's the FA Cup.
Don't. I think we'll change. Give Rice and Zubimendi a breather. Give Gabriel a breather. Just play, man. I'm not even thinking about FA Cup. Forget it. Even if we lose, get out of the way.
That was going to be my question, right? Would you literally just think, as an Arsenal
Yeah,
fan,
yeah,
allow the FA Cup?
yes,
Just maybe
yeah.
put the weakest team out possible.
Weakest team out.
Even
That's
if you
it.
get out, it's
Yeah.
probably not the best, not the
Exactly.
worst
Exactly.
situation, would it?
Exactly. And then Ajay, like you just said, right? It won't be the worst situation, and we can say we played the kids, right? We don't have to take in the first team player didn't play. So I think it's only weekend. If it was like a bigger team, then it could have been easier. But I would, if it was me, I would just give the players rest. They need rest. They've been playing every 2-3 days. We got another 4 games coming in 10 days. So it's going to be hard, with the teams we are playing against, and we're playing Wolves, we're playing Spurs, we're playing Chelsea. So it's going to be hard game. So we need to be ready.
So right then, what's happened to Dolman? Because he burst on the
He's
scene and
injured. He's injured.
he's
He's
injured. Oh,
injured.
okay,
Yeah,
okay. I was
yeah.
gonna say this is kind of.
He's
I
been
mean,
injured. Yeah, yeah.
that kind of player is kind of
We
off the
need.
bench
Yeah.
impact,
Oh my
young,
god.
and because a young
Yeah.
guy like him, he's
Yeah.
obviously fearless. He ain't going to
Fearless.
be.
Yeah.
And that age, like we see many youngsters who come onto the scene,
Yeah.
like Mark Lane when he burst onto the
Yeah.
scene, Wayne Rooney,
Yeah.
especially at their tender age, they didn't give a shit, they literally just went for
I
it, whatever.
hope he's fit for the FA Cup one on Sunday, but I don't think he's fit enough. So yeah, he might be going for the GCSEs, I think.
Well, I think
end of May.
that's middle of May, I think. So you should hopefully would have won the league by then for your
Yeah,
sake.
exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Right then, Ajay, anything you want to add about the game?
No, but just obviously, it's going to be Arsenal's rebound. Again, it's going to be against Wolves, and then that's going to be another tight game. I guess obviously Wolves have been, is it away as well to Wolves, or is it at home?
Yeah, away. Yeah.
away. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Molyneux,
it-
you know, again,
Country.
yeah.
yeah, that's
It was meant
So
to
in
be
the Midlands.
free midweek because of Carabao Cup we playing midweek
Oh,
again. So
Yeah.
rather than forward the game, they brought it. Rather than later, they brought it forward. Man, I was just
Yeah, the thing is for Arsenal, what I would just want to say is obviously they did a dominant performance against Leeds. I just think that they need to do that against
again
teams
similar.
that are in
Yeah.
that are in below them. Well, sorry, not like outside of this top 6 or top 7. So Brentford again, they're a very good team, but the likes of Wolves, the likes of Tottenham, because they're not a top 6 team. So
But like you said, Ajay, new manager bounce, right? So hopefully it won't happen. Hopefully it won't happen.
I just want to kind of see, because I think the rhetoric and the kind of narrative this season, unfortunately, whether or not it's an agenda on Arsenal or not, or if it's just obviously bias between some reporters or journalists, is that Arsenal playing a very negative style of football. They're playing a very boring style of football. It's all regarding towards set pieces. It's all regarding towards kind of recycling possession and just kind of booting the ball into dangerous areas, and then kind of winning corners and then resulting in kind of goals from there. But I just want to see Arsenal play with some nice fluidity, some nice pizzazz and attractive football that can really get the crowd up on their feet, and then really put pressure back on Man City, because that's why I think Man City are probably looking at Arsenal's weaknesses. If they go to teams like Brentford, they go to teams like Bournemouth, can they produce a result from those type of teams where they're quite difficult to go to, So let's see.
Yeah, Arsenal scored 50 goals so far this year.
They should be the top of the table for a reason, but how many of those
Yeah.
goals, again, from set pieces, how many from
But that
open
doesn't
play,
matter though.
how many
Ajay,
from,
we've talked about this
how many
before. So
Yeah.
what difference does it make that when Brentford scored their
Okay,
goal by set
penalties.
piece, the commentators were absolutely raving about it? Yeah, and they were saying, oh, set piece coaches, because I think Keith Andrews used to be the set piece coach. I think.
Keith Andrews, was doing a good job.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
used to be the set.
Yeah.
So he was Thomas Frank's assistant manager at
Yeah.
Brentford, and I think his specialty was set piece. I may be wrong, so
it
please,
was.
listeners,
No,
if
it
I am
was.
wrong.
It was.
please-
Yeah.
So why is it different that the media can praise Brentford for scoring a goal like that against Arsenal? And my opening line was about Arsenal got Arsenal, but but
Well, that's
the
exactly
reality
that,
is
isn't
that-
it? It's, yeah.
But what's the difference though? At the end of the day, for as long as if Arsenal win the league, who gives a shit? At the end of the day, if you're an Arsenal
But
fan,
that's the big question. That's the big question: is if Arsenal win the league now? It's all about momentum when it comes to football, and we've seen
I
it
think
when
for
it comes
me,
in.
Ajay, the pendulum has shifted now. Unfortunately, Royd, I'm sorry, but I think the pendulum's gone into Man
This
City's
is what I'm
favour
saying.
now.
Everything works in momentum. It works in waves. It works with the feeling. It works with the feeling. Like I look at Arteta and I'm thinking, there's not much confidence on his face. Like there's a bit of a pressure when you see Arsenal playing sometimes, and you think that they just got that psychological.
I see this with Pep
factor.
every game. The pressure.
Pep does
he
it,
wants
but
to
Pep
win.
is a master. Pep is a master of the dark arts and the playing arts. Like he knows deep. Like he'll have a facade that he can play in front of the camera and be like, "Oh no, we're not in the title race. We're out."
But where that comes from, Ajay? Why is not same for Mikel then?
That's true.
I can ask the same. I can say the same thing. Mikel is showing a different.
Mikel's a king of playing mind games and stuff like that. But this is new territory. So this is my only kind of own feeling is that, like Amit said, that City game against Liverpool was such a huge game.
Huge game. Yeah,
I think a lot of people really underestimate how big of a game that is.
No, of course. When you win against Liverpool and where you never won
at Anfield, where you've not won for a decade or so, whatever, 8 years, and
But
it
also
just
the nature of the winner, Ajay, as well. It's the last, that kind of that adrenaline. Remember, Liverpool aren't challenging for the title. Yes, they are the current Premier League champions, so it's not as if they beat Arsenal away, is it? So the feather in the cap is not that big, so to speak, because Liverpool aren't performing as to the same level as they were. But the fact that they were 1-0 down and then they end up winning, well, it should have been 3-1, but 2-1. In the latter stages of the game, that kind of momentum. I hope I'm wrong for your sake, Rohit, because I would love to see you smiling permanently for a season
smiling.
at least. But
I told you. I have full faith.
I genuinely believe that this is where if this was Alex Ferguson territory and it was Manchester United in Man City's place, I'll be saying that's it. Manchester United are going to win the league.
So
because Fergie was a king of psychological.
Right. Yeah. So now you
No,
guys are saying, and everyone now I see on Twitter as well that City's gonna win the league. City's gonna win the league.
No, I'm not
because-
saying that. I think the pendulum's shifted a little
No,
bit.
but what I hear online and all the podcasts
But
I
they've
hear,
experienced,
they're saying because they have experience, they have the team that matters.
Yeah.
Experience matters. They have gone through this period many times in the past and they won the league, so that's fine. So now they're saying Man City have better chance to win the league. They have the upper hand. They have the momentum. If they don't win, did they bottle it then?
No, because they're not in the lead.
No, so but everyone is saying they're gonna win the league.
No, but I'm just
Yeah.
what I'm saying. What
You
I'm
could-
saying.
you could
Forget
argue-
everyone
you
else. Look at
You
us
could
three,
argue that-
okay?
You could argue that they bottled it if in the manner in which Arsenal go 10 points, 11 points ahead. If they only lose it by 2 points, you probably wouldn't say that they bottled it. You
So-
probably said Arsenal
worst
probably
they
had an
bottled it.
amazing run.
Okay, so
I
Arsenal
guarantee-
didn't bottle it. Not the previous season. The last where we lost by 2 points, and then where we lost by 3 or 4 points. So we didn't bottle it then. But then media narrative says Arsenal bottled it. So this is what I'm saying, guys. Is always narrative. I don't want to go too much on it, but I know what's happening online. It's all about narrative. What media is creating. So
Agenda
I
Arsenal.
know, but yeah.
Okay,
that's
so
what I'm
Ajay and
saying.
I think that the momentum has shifted. Ajay,
Yeah,
I think the
it
momentum
could,
shifted.
yeah.
No, this is our opinion. Now, quickly, just before we move on, Ajay, do you think the momentum shifted to Man City now, or do you still think it's with Arsenal?
I think if I was in the Man City camp, they're going
I'll be
to
sniffing
go
blood.
on. They're going to go on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now they've got a slight little sniff of it now. It's like
Yeah.
a canine, in the like a dog police trainee that's in the airport. It's sniffing. It's there. It knows exactly where to go. And like honestly, but the thing is, you got to look at it. It's with experience. Like you said with Man United with Fergie, he always knew the second half of the seasons where you won the league. Now, if City can basically win, all of their games or even lose one game, remember Arsenal still have to go to the Emirates.
To the Etihad. To Etihad.
Etihad.
Yeah.
Etihad, yeah. So you don't understand how big of a game that could be. Could you imagine a situation where they're level on points at that stage? Then
Big
and
game.
then look at it from
Big
that
game.
way.
Yeah.
So it could happen. So it's the pendulum I think is shifting, but I think Arsenal need to put in some really big performances where they basically dominate teams in the first half and don't leave it till the second half in the 60th minute
Yeah.
to get a goal or the 70th minute to get a goal. They
Yeah.
need to really kill games off in the first 45 minutes to really show.
Ajay, that's difficult though
But-
nowadays. They're not
City,
that.
City beat Fulham 3-0, and we've all said, and every pundit is saying, Arsenal have the best squad in England, possibly even the best squad in Europe. This is a team that should have no excuses. with
If
the amount of
everyone
money
is
they
fit,
spent.
if
everyone's
everyone is
yeah,
fit,
fair enough. I'll
there's
give
a-
you,
there
I'll
is
give you
a-
injuries.
a post.
I'll give you injuries.
Yeah.
But with the
Yeah.
likes of Gyökeres and having
Yeah.
a backup striker as Havertz and your Jesus,
Harvard's
that's like
injured
having
again.
Van Nistelrooy up
Yeah.
front and having Solskjaer as a substitute with Van
So-
Persie.
Yeah,
They're
Ajay.
experienced. Champions League winner, Premier League winner on your bench. Your second keeper is a Champions League winner. These are caliber of players that should be ransacking teams
But
left,
Ajay,
right,
that's what I'm
and
saying.
centre.
We know been. That's what I'm saying. The luck part as well. We know been lucky in injuries, right? We having injuries at the wrong time. When players come back, they got injured again.
Yeah.
It could be any reason, right? How we practice, how we do everything, and what the games are like. But what
I
City
think
do?
the
What City
core- the
did?
core
What
of
City
the players are
did?
still there.
The two
The core
defenders got
players are still
injured.
there.
They went ahead and bought Gay.
Yeah.
Right?
Gay, yeah.
They had Savinho, they had Togu, they had other reindeers. Then what they did, they went ahead and bought Semenyo. We couldn't do that in January transfer window because we have to balance the books. So
Yeah.
we have to see
Well, they
who we are
do
fighting
as well, but they
against.
seem to get away with it.
Yeah, we have to see who we are fighting against. We have to, this is totally different
Okay, I'm
context
gonna-
here. Yeah.
I'm going to finish this conversation now by saying that with the pendulums potentially shifting, what Ajay and I believe, and maybe the narrative, what we're dealing with there is feelings. But the fact is, Arsenal are still 4 points ahead. And if I was an Arsenal fan, and I've said this many times, in our podcast, if you said to me you're 4 points ahead of City with X amount of games to go, 15 games or so is it left?
No, 12, isn't it?
30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I would have bit your hand any day of the week, and Arteta's got a pretty decent record against City at Etihad, I think. So I wouldn't be nervous about that. wouldn't
I
be
mean,
nervous
you know
about
what? That
that.
would be a big game, but then
It could be a title decider.
could be a title decider. But we have tough games as well before that and after that. So tough away games as well. So let's see what happens, guys. The only thing is that I would request every supporter, guys, keep the faith. Just keep the faith.
Well,
Support
every
the
Arsenal
team.
supporter, you mean.
Yeah, Arsenal supporter.
Not the
Guys,
City
I
supporters.
know many Man United fans who wants Arsenal to win, not Man City or
I
Liverpool.
don't know yet. I
But,
think only
yeah.
my love for you, Rohit, is that I want
No,
you
but
to win.
I
But
know
I'm
a
not
lot
sure.
of other
If
other
I
Arsenal,
take that
other
out, I don't
United.
know who I want to win.
No. Ajay, you want Arsenal to win. I'm telling you now.
I mean, I did predict to say that Arsenal will win.
You did actually. Yeah.
I'm just thinking that they need to put their foot on the accelerator now and just dominate teams. That's
no,
it.
true.
I just want to see them play better.
Yeah. No. It's I some points I agree with you guys. I think this again. What I'm saying is that sometimes it's not easy. It's very easy on paper. It's very hard on the pitch. But as usual, we need to keep going because not every game gonna be 3-4-0 like against Leeds, right? Every team gonna learn. They have good analysts now, good how to prepare. They have a lot of things nowadays, right? So to prepare. So and every team can beat anyone unless they bloody play against Man City. That's my thing. They always give up.
And again, if Arsenal don't win the league,
exactly, United. Yeah, come on. Wish United can play every week against City.
If Arsenal don't win the league, I think the one thing that this has shown is that you need that one creative, really superstar creative midfielder.
I think we need to invest in that.
Because the struggle seems to be the teams that are playing the low block defensive line, which is pretty much everyone. You really are finding it difficult to unlock those defenses.
We need Fabregas or Bergkamp type player. Fabregas will be perfect.
Or Bruno. If you look at current players in Premier League, Bruno kind of player is just what you find out for. On that note, it's brilliant catching up, boys. Full house. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Please do subscribe, like, and follow, and drop your comments in on Arsenal's performance. Have they blown it as a pendulum swung onto City? Until the next time, stay safe. Enjoy the next round of FA Cup games, and we look forward to catching you up soon.